Hey everybody, welcome back. Spirit plays. Holy crap. Alright, let's do this. I'm trying to help my friend Rambo. I haven't talked to him for a while. Jump in, brah. He has a... So look at this dude. Very, very good, right? I remember him. He has all the adequate things needed to get to 5-star via Vanna. He basically like begged Vanna. This is like the most shortcutted way to get to the end game. So it looks like he's trying to jump in, I think, and perhaps do some levels. Hello, you are real. Rampant creativity. Who isn't real? Is that you, Rambo? Rampant creativity. So we'll find out in a minute here. Anyway, let's go pedal somewhere. Oh, hello, cat. Your claws on my legs feel great. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Zeddy. Good morning, cat. I'm the freaking Pied Piper of this animal, I swear. No, don't make out with the microphone. Dropped it enough times that the freaking toddler and a 7-year-old is dancing around here. I do try to. I think that, using the F word to describe every single thing is kind of, it demeans the word. Save the cursing for things that matter. I tell this for people at work when they're trying to describe their walk into work, this mother effing weather. I'm like, it's okay, man. It's. I mean, they're just clouds. Save the cursing for stuff that matters. Stuff that's really, we start defining evil. But, it's my philosophy brain just kind of jumping in there. Anyway. Hello, Mug. So, rampant creativity is, if that is you, Brother Rambo, jump in and let us dominate 9-2 to 10-2, at least far as we can go. We have a legit Mug of Misery. Hello. Speaking of Mug of Misery, do I have one? If you guys need tips on how to do like a tiny internal yard sale, this cat. Claws on my shorts legs, not good. Yeah, Rambo, jump in, please. 9-2. And send me an invite if you remember how to do that. So what are we trying to do? Corey. That's not how you spell corrosive. Standby as Java freezes time and space to access this database. Alright. Hello, RJ. Good morning. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you saw anything that I did yesterday, holy crap, Java was not merciful. Thank goodness I can't say that to the programmer of the universe. Gravity, why didn't you work consistently the entire time I was running? I mean, you don't have to have that kind of variable. It's, 26,000 miles an hour. The Earth rotates, and it's not varying anytime soon. Jump in. Okay, you hit, from the main screen, you hit M. M is for mission. I'll demonstrate. Then you go to rank, and you peter back to, what you said, 9-2? Alone in the dark. Dude, I can do some switch shooting. You guys can hear me pound on the keyboard for like 20 minutes. Yeah, just jump in. That is the jumping in. M is for J. You used to have to walk north and actually do some walking, but, due to our affluent society, they shortcutted everything to a menu. You no longer have to walk to the whole area north of this auction house is very obsolete. I did like how it spit me out there at one point, though. It was nice seeing the arcade gates and everything. We're gonna go take a look at that if I have time. So let's look at the. I need to pedal wares. This is how we have our supplemental income. Check out that 800 energy. I haven't had that. It's taken me like 2 months to get that far, right? Meti. You are not slow. It is you are wearing full ancient with the Pseudo-Ruska as your main form of weaponry. There is that. For the sake, my build has made the game intentionally difficult for the sake cosmetic reasons. Well, I don't know if it's cosmetic. I do know you should probably build something besides ancient. You're going to spend a good bit of your time dodging. What are we going to? Terminal meltdown. What is this mission? I mean, I guess I can look here, right? Gate map. I am trying to heat something. So we got a compounds. We have stuff going on. I mean, you have neutral weapons. Why shouldn't I? I don't know if this build will quite do it. So let's go. Whoosha! Yeah, there's no stamina bar. There is a. First off, I'd recommend a swift strike shield. This thing right here, and that's all you need for the rest of the game. Then you just dodge everything. That'll help with your swing rate for sure. And not trying to show you up, but you know this weapon is probably one of the best that's ever existed. So let's go here, and you know what? We will do the. Why not? We have bomb. We got sword. It is fire. So we'll just pop a little of that on there. That we just burn a little bit less. It's neutral now. Do we have fire resistance on one of these? We do. Fire low. That's why there's no bars there. Then you just dodge everything. That's right. That's the theory, right? All you got to do is not get hit. Your stun guns, I mean, does what it does. Let's do this. Let's go. You are a champion, my friend. We can do this. We'll make this happen. My disappointment comes from my shield not being as effective as I'd want it to be, but oh well. I was actually missing a shield like that when I went down to the last. You can type in SK though; it'd be a lot maybe easier for others to read too. I don't know, but it would be okay to have that shield for the newer vault that they have, because you can actually block some of the little turret things that come around because of the giant neutral stuff that it can soak. Meow, 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 meow. Anyway, I read a brief thing in the Introduction to Modern Philosophy about history, because there's a couple of challenges that philosophy itself has with everything. They dealt with metaphysics. They dealt with empiricism. They dealt with I actually skipped over the political section. I don't like politics is yeah, your normal hit gets eaten like 3 to 4 hits, or your normal shield. I can understand that, because nothing deals normal damage. Well, excuse me, not a whole lot anyway. Power of the Sudaruska. But anyway, politics makes me a little angry. And via my wife, I understand this. I forgot that shield stunning was actually a thing. Thank you. I dodged right into it. Dude, did you see that stun? Why does in the theory of everything, right? In the theory of SK, check out that tiny Sudaruska. That's like freaking. I'm gonna hit you with a chopstick. In the theory of everything, why doesn't the Valance have like stun or fire or some kind of ridiculous stat or more damage? You know, if you're taking like the, if we are consistent in our philosophy behind of SK, right? Philosophy behind, the Akron dealing a ridiculous, absurd amount of damage. Why don't we have the Valance, which has no status or elemental any kind of effect, deal more? That's right, man. Be fine with who you are. Help. Meow meow, Mike. Now we run. No. This bomb. The stun is amazing. No. It doesn't require IQ. It requires an infinite amount of rationalization and amazing sympathy. Ouch. That was a. See that dodge? Can you just freaking lay down? Thank you. Pardon me. I do not agree with that logic. Get him, buddy. This blinds him right up for our Sudaruska madness. It's Samir. Hello. Dude, it's a freaking party. Everyone who's ever watched this show is here right now. At 3:12 in the morning. You might want to... Always stunts on charge? That's a... Well, I don't know, man. I understand the opportunity of chance. Just like the other... Apparently this guy's not threatening enough to have music. Ascending music for. You know what? Actually, you scare me a bit. We'll just keep using a balance on your face. Careful, man. Someone playing Spiral Knights. I know, it's a crazy morning. There's a build that makes the charge on weapons extremely fast. You mean like the one that I have right now? Blah, blah. I think there are... Are there enemies? Help me out. Those that are more educated in this game than I am. Are there more enemies? Are there enemies in this game that are immune to stun? I know there are some that are like extremely immune to fire. I know the constructs... Generally, the constructs are immune to sleep. I found that out before. They did add... To answer your question, Samir, they did add... like... a vault. By the way, if you're looking for honest critique on a game that people enjoy, don't look at people who have dwelled on the forums. Don't look at people who maybe invest 99% of their time in lockdown. They are angry old men like myself and have not ascended to a point of, you know, maybe exceptional thinking where they can actually enjoy things. So Rotten Tomatoes is a good example of the cultural American implications of this, right? Where they can't even enjoy a good movie anymore. The Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones. Like, that was a decent movie. It was what it was, except for the monkeys started coming in there. That's kind of, you know, how my dad's on that. Like, come on, man, really? The monkeys, they're going to start attacking the bad guys now. Is that how this works? So, it's besides that. I was like, yeah, it could happen. Dude, Midnight DJ is so bitter. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. We all used to be nice to each other. Now it's just the forums are a giant complaining ground. Like, heaven forbid. You know what? I take that back. Let's do our best to yell angrily at how horrible they have done at developing the game continuously, over and over again. And at this time, they're going to listen. This time. As opposed to the other times when they just ignored us, they're going to listen this time. I mean, when you take it in that perspective and you think about how ridiculous. Why did I just... Mike, what are you doing? Why would you do that to me and to all our party involved? Why would we light them on fire? Why would he teleport over there? I don't know. You know, when you put that in perspective and you think, okay, yeah, if we complain more, great things will happen. How's that worked historically? There we go. Philosophy of history. I understand venting pools. I also understand the fact and patterns of neglect that happen. Like, the worst thing you can do as a parent. I've said this multiple times. I still believe in it. The worst thing you can do as a parent is just not be there. The worst thing you can do is just opt out. The worst thing you can have is neglect. Even if it's wrath and anger, even if it's like, you know what, you guys want more balance? Here's your balance, and they make Polaris and just Polaris. And the Acheron, they make it more powerful. At least they're doing something. At least out of, like, the blatant, cynical joke they're doing something with the game. But when they, you know, when you got nothing to go on, when nothing happens at all, the stagnation's just worse. At least, like, griping about something will actually breed a little bit of team unity from a personal level. Free to... Wait, Lizard Med, Water Temple? Freaking... Are they gonna bring in some Legend of Zelda stuff? Additions to Halloween. Free-to-play mixers are coming. Well, how long did it take for them to actually pop in the casino, which I guess was in the game data file since like 2012 or 11 or something. So they are putting new stuff in it. It's just ridiculous. And our community has survived for this long. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the whole nostalgia. I keep looking for games that are like this. They just straight up don't exist. The whole just walk around, hack and slash, you know, develop your character. Now, we can argue how the game has gone in development and stuff like that, but... You know, at least it is a thing. It continues on ever so slowly. Java somehow, the reality of Java. Well, I haven't even touched on philosophy, Brother Rambo. I mean, I was going to talk about the historical challenges of modern philosophy, assuming there's absolute truth. But I haven't even really touched on that. Nostalgia is powerful, by the way. I'm not from the future, but I talk to data miners. They could just go underground again and it wouldn't faze me. Nostalgia is powerful, says Samir. I keep thinking of making one, but it's a lot of work. Spiral Knights didn't take like 7 years to initially make for no reason. That's right. Also, sloppy shard bombs, your mother's favorite weapon. Oh! Okay, for a big old sloppy shard bomb. Dude, I should make a shard bomb and then functionally use it. How do we do that? Well, we have to make our own game and then make shard bombs viable. Dude, I love the old shard bombs. I still think about them once in a while. How you could just go way south on, I always go back to lockdown, right? You go way south on like a lockdown point, just start planting them. They have no chance of seeing them even show up. And like a striker bomber, bam, there you go. Just makes me feel good. Now, what do we have? Nitronome. This whole game is good in itself, I think. It's fairly good, fairly docile. I measure, like, we have adults that sort of play this game, and then we have my 7-year-old who enjoys just, like, playing here and there. And, you know, that is extremely satisfying. It's like killing, a swarm of grasshoppers. It just feels good. La la. You don't believe in adults? Yeah, I can see that. I actually made a metaphor when a person at work. I'm a. Don't follow the channel. I'm a supervisor at a warehouse, and one person was trying to justify the over maturity that she had compared to other people. She was saying that she was othering other people. There you go, saying that. You know, they're so immature, that kind of thing. And I would say, well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're all children, even in the course of history. You could spend your entire lifetime learning and won't even touch on, like, one facet of a STEM type of job function. Like, for instance, let's just say forklift driving, right? Because it's something that happens in my job. We have how long did it take you to walk? How long did it take you to walk well? How long did it take you to run well? Well, even, like, forklift driving itself, through the practice and the empirical verifiability of people that are just like that much. We have a lady that's been there for like 28 years. She is phenomenal, and even like the 20-year-old kids that watch her drive are just like, how on earth did she get this good? She just did it a while. So when it comes to like learning and progressing from a childlike to an adult, I'd say we're all children. For the in the biblical perspective, because you'll hear this once in a while, in the end of John, it says, if all the books were to, if we wrote down all the books that God wanted to, talk to us about, you might want to move there, Brother Rambo. Thank you. I feel for you. Then no, the libraries on the earth would not even describe them. And I believe it's talking about just like, not only philosophy, but just like how the world was made. Oh my goodness. These little things are going to be the end of you, my friend. I forgot I switched to the wrong weapon. Please jump in there. It's okay. Managing a stream, this is the multitasking facet of life. I'm okay with this. Yeah, we are running twin suitas in here. If I had two of them, I would shoot my sword. There we go. I like those suitas. I hope the Suba is playing a balanced game with big swords. I know, right? She was cool. I don't know who Suba is. I'm sorry. I'm missing out. But anyway, I guess I should touch on... You have 6 to 8 suitas now? Do each one have their own... Let me put it right next to the bomb here. It might help. That was a brave man going in there. Did you see that? If each one has its own customizable UV, then I guess you'd have a Suda for every occasion. Right, cat. He's standing on my wireless USB connector. I don't know what to make of this. Suba no Mi was an advocate of balance and overall loudmouth before my time. She was a person who had 7 back in the day. She was too good for the forums. Okay. So I guess, I don't know, probably during my time, but it's, I guess the time I didn't pay attention to the forums or something. You know what? Now it's kind of coming back to me, but not really. It's okay, I got this. Then when we charge, everybody gets drawn together, except no one decided to jump into bomb land. The amount of time fans of Spiral Knights put in this game is effing insanity. I agree. Does that justify the F word? Is it F-bombable? Are lives being used and wasted and lost? I don't know. But, well, perhaps, I guess, if you think about the amount of time a person puts into it, and myself included, I put a lot of time in Lockdown. The other time I spend in the game, which people can understand, is my character just, like, stagnating there. This might not be a good idea to come in here, but we'll be okay. Yes, jump into the trap, my tiny gremlin friend. Blah, blah. She had 1 for each variant. That is amazing. I guess if you pick your particular weapon, and then you're really a fan of it, you would kind of fight for that in a lot of facets. Like, not just like, well, reasons why this weapon should. Well, actually, that would be like the root of why your weapon should be awesome. You know, I don't. You have a pet? Oh yeah, you do. You have a little Draken. Mine has arms though. Yours will grow soon, someday, my friend. It's okay to swear. You just have to. This is when you like the thing about diving into philosophy is you get a. I don't know if discipline's a good way to put it, but finding reasons for all things. I mean, it's kind of a natural. It's hard to live a life that you think about and contemplate, and not apply that to your real life. I guess you could. The agnostic and atheistic philosophers can do this because if there's no reason, they could just live life however, even if they believe one thing. And that's the paradigm of the modern skeptic. The modern skeptic has no rational value for a lot of stuff. So you can how did Chesterton put it? He put it like the modern skeptic is no real revolutionary. He can which way are we going? We could say that the Native American was a beast, and that how dare we treat them like beasts? I think I just killed you. I'm sorry. That's right. And then you can take your hat and umbrella, go to a philosophical talk, and basically justify that they were beasts. I mean, since you have no absolute root of value and humanism and truth, you can the darkness that you go through in relativity, you can basically end up at any kind of a end point. That's what I'm saying. Rampant. You died well, my friend, on the spikes, which I think I did too. I'm sorry. Don't worry, I got this. I'm going to carry you through these levels. This was the whole idea behind this anyway. Descendants of criminals? That's, you know what the, you ever see Samurai? Oh, hello. Jeff Bezos. Dude, aren't you the founder of Starbucks? Or is that Amazon? I don't know why I get those guys mixed up. Native Americans are bad. Oh my gosh. Come on now, follow me. Follow me. Follow me through this train of thinking. This line of thinking. So so if you have no starting point, right? No reason, no absolute value, no standing. We can dive into this for a second. Hello, Mr. Slime, I'll save you. If you have no standing of why people, rational reason why people have value, that isn't, dude, look at this guy's, he's holding a bunch of like airplane wings and he looks like a pig, a flying pig. It's Amazon. Jeff Bezos is Amazon, I'm guessing, judging by the guild. Holy crap, dude. You are like the most beautiful spectacle I've seen in a while. Well, I mean, that's obvious. There we go. Is that really what Jeff Bezos looks like? I knew it. Let's Who's the dude for Starbucks? He ran for president for a minute. Maybe he still is. I don't know. Yeah, I did put my hand into the flavor of politics for a minute, but wasn't a very long minute. Just made me too angry. I couldn't do it for too long. Blah blah. Do do do. This music sounds like a Disney Imperial Death March, and I guess that kind of makes sense if Disney took control of Star Wars. Yes, knock them into my void. It's not my place either. Rambo says, I don't do politics, it just isn't my place. I realized this when I start jumping into it and start, understanding that I'm more libertarian than I am conservative or anything else. When you start understanding yourself, and then you look at the identity politics in our country that force people not to listen to each other, and they have this idea that because you are not me, you can never truly understand. That kind of philosophy itself destroys communication. You can never have a definition for what words mean in language. Like, you can never understand my specific definition. That's saying you can never understand the language that I say, even if you learn English. It just doesn't matter. I mean, it's a bad point, and when people don't see this, it's frustrating. Because you're like, you mean we can't talk to each other? So, what's the point of you being a politician? Why don't you just be a dictator and try to destroy? It blows my mind. So what happened is I started losing my passion for people, and I started just looking to people as like a kind of argument to be won. And I didn't like myself. I was starting to become a very angry individual because people wouldn't freaking listen, dude. We can have common definitions. Language does exist. We can come to compromises. This happened a lot more in our past, specifically in America. Like, holy crap, man. And so I just started getting very, very angry. And my wife pointed this out to me, so God bless her for sticking with me through all that. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's see, not to dive too far into this because it is kind of in a different direction, but the whole so religion itself. Religion starts with man and what man has to do to earn God's favor. Now, the thing about Christianity is there is no earning your way to heaven. Every cult that existed that has branched off from that has been a cult because it says you have to work your way there somehow, which is a false paradigm. But I forgot where I was going with that because I had too many trains of thought in my mind. My wife says I interrupt myself in my own stream, and I can believe in that. But the common man is a horrible person. Let's jump off of this now. It is frustrating. People don't listen. But how do you listen to people? You have to have an assumption that people have value, that the words they say are meaningful, that not just your own words, but your fellow man's as well. Christ was extremely political when he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. I know what I was getting into. It's theology as opposed to religion, because theology starts with God. And a term like Christian is actually very politically laden. I know in Korea, Christians usually associated with like bomb throwers. So you got to be careful with that. I like to rather define myself as more like a follower of Christ, because the things he said and who he claimed to be, he was not just a normal person. You can't to say that is to deny history. And that's actually what the topic was for today, is about the historical challenges that philosophy has when trying to define history. You have empiricism, you have nihilism. There's a lot of routes you can go with this. Let's not get caught on fire just yet, even though we can sort of survive in archaic gear. Archaic gear might be worth a roll. So you can have a disdain for certain people. You can have a disdain for things, but what you really gotta, what I think is important is that if you want anything to really happen, you have to have a justifiable reason to think people have value. If not, then this was what was happening in my political realm when I put my brain in there. You can rationalize your way to anything, because when you start putting a value onto a person, you start quantifying them as should they live or should they die? Should we kill all the mentally handicapped from birth, or should we sterilize them? I mean, it's hard to not justify that. I know. I see your bomb. Probably the best anti-griever weapon there is known to man. Pardon me. Thank you. Dude, when I was playing Dissonant might be the word you were thinking of. I don't talk to people. There comes a time in a person's life when you have to, though, sometimes. I was leading my morning devotions today. It's I read this Maxwell leadership book, and it said, and it gave me some good reflection. It said, leaders initiate. So if a person has an issue, it should actually be my responsibility to go talk to them on it. Dude, nice use of your poison stuff. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Eugenics. Yes, there. He was going with for the word eugenics. I don't even think I have a key bound to my shield bash, because I feel like my poor little swift strike will just break if I try to run it into anything. Why'd you put the key over there? Doesn't it go this way? Rambo, you just sitting over there with a key over your head? Can you? Let's go see if the lock is this way. Or you just stand there. Usually when people ask me things or talk to me, I merely say, "How may I help you?" instead of "Hello, how are you?" Well, that's the blood flood, blue flood. Very close, Jeff. Through your millions in Amazon, you probably came up with that for research and stuff, Blue flood, yes, that was back in the day when I got bitter and took this game more seriously than I probably should have. Back when I was a strong advocate for balance and lockdown. And getting rid of AT and all that stuff, but moved on. Now I honestly I love the arcade way more than anything else. Not even gonna lie. How are you is a loaded question, and people don't answer it honestly, like, ever. If they did, you'd be there a long time. I know a person in India who, they said it took them like 2 or 3 months when they moved to America to figure out that people didn't really want an answer when they asked that question. How are you? Well, do you have a couple hours? Let me tell you how I came here. Yeah, it's not an honest question, so, even in our modern talk, it's very superficial. Do people really care? Is your mind on other people besides yourself? You are a very fast runner, my friend. Anyway, so, while we're here, yeah, I was on the forums. I was probably very bitter on there. It's been a while since I posted anything. So there's 3 types of historical thought. It actually comes from looking for patterns. There is a pattern in history. There's a non-pattern in history, and there is skepticism, which it means there might be, but you can never really know. Dude, Zeddy's actually been with me for a bit. Forget Zeddy. I forget where you live, like Indonesia or something. And Mug of Misery says, I like to answer it way too openly when it comes to the how are you question. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what that does to people? It makes them think about what they're saying. People just say it because it's something to be said. I knew it was Indonesia. So he's been catching me on streams here, and I've been doing like Risk of Rain 2 has been one of my favorites lately. Hello, Cat. Welcome back. You took a break to do something I'm not sure, but you took a break. Do we get to fight a little mini-boss here? It's been so long. I'm coming. Chameleon. Blah, blah. Horrible? Oh, okay. For a while, I used to answer with horrible because I wasn't very happy. Do they have the same kind of greeting in Indonesia? I mean, I know in certain parts of Africa, right, the greeting is, I see you, which makes more sense when it comes to a greeting. I know there's aloha, como esta, it sets people back pretty effectively, and they don't ask it again. Oh yeah, I can see that. Dude, you killed him before I could drop my bomb. That's okay. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No idea I live in Norway. Okay. Well, what do they say in Norway when they greet each other? I love studying the... because the difference in languages and thought processes and stuff like that, it's interesting to follow. Ravi Zacharias said when they were asked why they should be allowed into Canada when they moved to North America, dude, you guys are just freaking massacres of poor little slimes. They said because we think in English. Okay. Yeah, how are you? I believe we fight some respawning Oilers and Slimes, etc., etc. Hey, this looks really familiar. Okay. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I'm sure I won't get hit here. Maybe. Blah, blah. and then we use number 7, and then we use number 4. Now it's just amazing. Now the question, should we defend to the death our little laser pointer? Meow meow. Perhaps we will die here in just a second. Perhaps. No, don't go over there. We did get a swing off. Dude, did you see that laser shot? It was amazing. Huh. Well, we're on fire. We need to do number 6. Oh, no, not that one. Number 7. And number 5. Please. We can do this. Java's not giving up on us yet. Blah. If Java isn't giving up, then why should we? There we go. But I hear it raining, but our fire has not been put out on ourselves. That's okay. I'm going to start by saying, why do you care? That's actually also an honest question, because it opens up. I like my whole purpose when studying this philosophy is to have people open up into their own assumptions. Why do you care is actually, I would say it a little bit more tactfully, like, why do you ask? Why do you care? It's like accusatory. It kind of sets off the conversation. I like having conversations. You know, the concept behind being a follower of Christ is to help others. You got radiance? Freaking Jeff, you and your money. You just like to slap in the back of the head. Yeah, somebody asks you how you are, just starts a fist fight, right? They get a broken nose. There's a lot of broken nose people around me. I don't have many friends because of my response. I just like to slap them in the back of the head. Oh my goodness. I usually, honestly, when people ask me, how are you? If I have more than like a minute, I throw it at them. Like, do you really want to know? Or like, that's like, do you want a legitimate answer? Do you want the long version or the short version? I just like stuff. If a person also likes stuff, that's chill, and I can chill with them. And all right, Rambo, let's do the next one. I'm gonna take a minute because I'm segmenting these. I'm gonna be gone for 3 days coming up soon, going to a C.S. Lewis retreat. We talk about philosophy and theology and all this good stuff for the next couple days. It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm gonna segment these, pop on YouTube. So I'm just gonna pause for a second, hit the stop and the start button, so I can segment them. Don't worry, I'll be back in just 1 minute. I mostly get along with people who play EDF, Earth Defense Force. That's your dude. You and your wife play that game. That's amazing. So give me 1 second. I'm just gonna stop and then start. So, Brother Rambo, I want you to queue up the next mission. We are going to carry you through. RJ Ghani's logged in. Thank goodness. All right, so I'll be right back. Be right back.